This is now my third time recording this, and the second time I was halfway through till got interrupted. But that's alright. Um, so basically, I don't have a way to show you the slides in the video right now, but I was thinking if you could just have the slides there, and then you can just click through them because I know you have them because I turned them into you. So if you want to just click through the slides, and I'll tell you when to switch the slides. It'll make more sense. um, the script will make more sense in that way, and what I'm saying it will make more sense. Um, so to begin, um, the slide would have a quote on it, and I would ask the audience to read the quote to themselves and think about it for 30 seconds to a minute, and then I would ask them this question: How can this work? And then I would ask them all the question, and have a couple volunteers explain their thought process on the quote, and then I would take it to myself to kind of elaborate on what they're saying, and then after that, I would talk about my personal experience with the quote, and this is where I start with the actual script. So this is a question that I've asked myself when I first heard this. I was 13. You may be asking yourself that very question about this quote, or about a math problem, relationship, or even existence. Creating movement, and then I would change the slides again because that's my title. And I believe that it takes almost nothing to build. No building materials, no thought to it sometimes. In a literal sense, physical sense, it isn't possible. You need energy and a bunch of other stuff that as bad as I can explain. But I'm not here for that. Not here to explain a lot of things. I'm talking about movement on a personal, spiritual, or even relationship perspective. It takes almost no outside forces, movements, to move yourself. Through high school, I thought a lot, a ton, to the point where I wouldn't even pay attention to my teachers, classmates, or friends if they weren't talking to me. I was thinking about things that happened to me and like the things that I've been going through during that time. And I won't go into detail about that stuff because that's not what you're here to listen to. You're here to listen to my experiences through ECHS, not my experiences through my own mind. But at the same time, you are here to listen to that because through ECHS, I've been changing a lot, changing in the type of person that I am, the type of person that I want to be as well, the person that wants to think about his next action, his next move, or anything to better himself. And I'm here to talk to you about 3 different experiences that have brought me to become a better person, in my opinion, as being a part of ECHS. The first thing is being in ECHS boys volleyball. This has become made me become a collaborative communicator, being able to talk to my teammates to get a point across. And I'll explain that further on. The second thing is writing a senior thesis paper. This made me into more of a critical reasoner because of this. And my civic action project. This has made me into I became a creative contributor because of this. And and then I would switch the slides and then talk about myself and point out the pictures and what they mean and how they relate to me. There's a picture of my mother holding up her diploma for uh, for her associate's degree. I'm not sure, but that was recently, and she's been going back to school, and that's inspired me to go to school long term and continue with my life because I want to do it for her. Then there's a picture of my brother, and he's really inspired me from going on his mission and coming back for 2 years, and that's also something that I wanted to do. And he's really inspired me to do that stuff and come back. And there's a I think there should be a picture of Anna Valerie Vargas. She inspires me a lot, and helps me a lot, and helps me continue doing what I'm doing. There should be another picture of all my friends there, my close friends, and these people. As I've gotten to know them, they've really pushed me. As in like ninth grade, I really didn't do anything because I didn't want to. I didn't care, and that made me into a bad student. That's not something that you should do. And I was doing things that you shouldn't be doing, like cheating on tests or whatever. Don't know if that'll get me an SRC now, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, and then when I met them and started to really hang out with them, in the last part of my 10th grade year, I really realized that I should push myself, and they've really forged me into a person that I like, a person that I accept. Because, yeah, I met Diego ninth grade, and then talked to him for a little bit, but it wasn't nothing that nothing not that big of a friendship. But then it grew later on, and they're really a part of the reason why I moved through ECHS the way I do. They've been a big part of ECHS for me. And then I switched to another slide that has a senior thesis paper on it, I think. Or it could be my subjection. But I was going through order from my script. So my script starts off with senior thesis. So for my senior thesis paper, I decided to write about low ecotourism and low income communities. This entails building parks and areas for everyone to enjoy, and for those people in low income communities to have a place that would benefit the community and the individual. How does the level of income of impoverished or wealthy communities impact the number of parks and recreation services that can benefit from ecotourism? The federal and local government should implement funding policies in advertising and expanding parks for ecotourism because it promotes a healthier lifestyle for adults and children, improves local economies, and preserves biodiversity. That was a lot of his scholarly stuff that I'm pretty sure bored you. But here I get into more of what that paper really means to me. I found that through my struggles in writing this paper, I enjoyed the topic, and I still want to pursue this type of work out of high school and maybe into my career, creating an emotional and physical tie to the natural world in our secluded world. I found a place in the world that I actually care about, a place where I can sink my teeth in it and take a huge bite and enjoy it. I learned that writing essays aren't easy, but I know I can get it done. I can create a well formulated and written essay that gets all my points across, and that it was not hard, like how everyone else was hyping up to be. You know how everyone is. Like you talk to your senior friends, and they're like, "Oh, senior thesis, I have this, I have that." But honestly, looking back at it wasn't that hard. It's up to you to make it hard or make it easy for yourself. If you're on top of everything that you need to do, it'll be easy for you and you'll pass maybe first try. And if you don't, so what? You go into your second try and keep up with that work and you'll pass it. The only ones that do not pass it first or second try are the ones that do not take advantage of what are given and are not on top of their work. And I know everyone can be, but it's just the choice and the agency that you have that forces you to choose. Not forces you, but it's yourself that forces yourself to choose something. And in the end, no one else is going to force you to write that paper. But there are consequences if you don't. So I'd rather not take those consequences and take it upon myself to be a better writer, to actually write this paper. There are two things to this paper that I learned. One, it is being on top of your work. Two, It's taking advantage of all those things that ECHS offers you. Your mentor, other teachers that help you write it, your peers, and just about everyone. ECHS will help you write this paper. Honestly, this has prepared me for college, for that I can effectively look for help when I need it and write a well composed essay that contains structural supports and has a well structure to it. And yeah, that's it. And then I switched to intercession, to the CPT forum day during the intercession, and my civic action. So I created and presented a CPT forum day for intercession. Created an organized and student-led student field trip to a local park in Inglewood called Magic Johnson Park. That's the highlight of my ECHS career, making a whole park field trip. And I wrote letters and conducted interviews with Vivian Franco from Latte Spot and started working with the organization and aiding with spreading awareness about our cause. I conducted a video interview with Dave Trejo to plan and work with the staff at ECMS Gardena to propose changes on how they maintain the community spaces with PropK. I did this because of a survey I conducted during an intercession. I found that more than 60% of students that attend ECHS did not go to their local community spaces, green spaces, due to parks being dangerous, not enough to do, or simply they did not have enough time to go to them. I think another reason why they don't have time to go to them is because they're pretty spread out and far away. Because if you had a park right down the street from you or right next door, you're going there every other day, right? That, at least that's personally what I would do. Um, I think that even though my impact was relatively small, it was impactful to the ones that I felt that I impacted. I felt that the people affected really had a seed planted in their heads that my action to fix and grow our parks and recreation system is a real problem, and it would have great benefits to our local communities. I learned that I can and am able to create change in my local area, and that people around me. I found that I am able to connect with those people and network effectively and quickly. I also found that I am comfortable with meeting people that would help me achieve what I need to do. I found that planning is not my strong suit. It is something that I easily forget about, that I lose track of what I need to plan and how some important things slip through the cracks and I have to rush to do them. I embody the creative contributor slow because working with professionals in the field, I have found that I have creative ideas that would be able to work if given time and effort to do them, have contributed to the conversation of environmentalism and sustainability. My voice matters because it is able to gather people and voice my opinion through actions and my words. It matters because I am a citizen, and a human, and everyone should have some amount of influence on another person. That is what I feel I have. It means being involved with the local and national political and environmental climate. Through an active citizen would be able to assess a situation and approach it through voting and other means of voicing their opinion. It has prepared me in ways that I couldn't think of at the time, such as how to reach out for help, how to network, and how to create a business relationship with other professionals in the field that I'm interested in. These skills will prove very useful in job and in college in my life. Now I'll switch the slide again to ECHS volleyball. ECHS volleyball. This, of course, is a sport called volleyball, where you hit a ball with your forearms. But this is not like any other team sports, or sports team actually. Some team sports you don't need a team. You don't need team communication as much as you do in volleyball. The sport is and has shown me that speaking and collaborating with a team of people you may not even know or like is important to the overall goal. Both individuals have the same goal, to win. There were times where my teammates would get on my nerves and would be in a pain in the ass sometimes, but I learned that bad relationships are not helping you to get to the ultimate goal of winning and growing in the sport. I've grown from the first day of participating in volleyball and to the last day. I have seen so much growth in myself, and quite frankly, I'm proud of myself. Being collaborative in a team of 6 to 20 people is important. So a collaborative being a collaborative communicator is important. It is the bones of the sport. Not contributing to the team and communication leads to the team's downfall and ultimate loss. This has prepared me to be a team player in my life or not be so self-centered and focused on where my position is, but also the positions of my teammates and where other people are in my life. Not only in the court, but in relationships and even arguments. I've been aware of my surroundings, where the lines are so I can get the ball, where the net is, etc., etc., etc. I can apply this to my life later, where I can see where I'll end up because I can be aware of my surroundings, how to communicate to people, and be collaborative to the teams that I will be a part of. So, yeah, that's it. That should be the end of the slides. If there is any more slides, I need to add more slides, but it is what it is. 17 minutes. Well, I mean, kind of long, but it's alright. Well, that's it. Just see you guys later.